For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens.
The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
St. Lucia is badly in need of a savior. Welcome to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. You are watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you are listening to the broadcast on the new number one, I'm told, Power 97.9 FM. We go up until, I don't know, we have to make up for yesterday. We were off the air. So we would like to apologize profusely for that. My name is Timothy Poleon. I'll be hearing from you during the course of the broadcast at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Afternoon to you, Kimani. You'll be going through some of the comments in the chat room as well, as you are all set to make up for our inability to have a broadcast yesterday. You don't like ice. You don't like chocolate, I know. Mm-hmm. Then you don't like yogurt. Those are the good things. Those things are good for you.
I've never liked them.
Okay, why?
Honestly, I don't know. As a child, I've just always had my reservations about it. Growing up, I've never favored it, so I just don't eat it.
So what do you like?
I like you.
You like me. Amazing. All right. But we have to make up for our absence from yesterday's broadcast. People are calling me. Unfortunately, we had some technical issues. We could not have our program, and we do apologize for that. We're not being boastful. We know that there was a void, so we apologize. I started off by saying St. Lucia needs a savior. And by the time we conclude our program this afternoon, you will concur. Because there is a void in our country. Let me take you back to 1996. St. Lucia was in disarray. Not primarily as a result of runaway crime, but because there's instability in our country. You have a lot of unrest involving trade unions. Before that, you had the bad blood between the then administration of John Compton and the Banana Salvation Committee. So life was very unnerving and unpredictable in our country. Who emerged? Dr. Kenny Anthony, fresh-faced individual to many of us in this country, a breath of fresh air. He exuded confidence, and that was reflected in the kind of investment that the people of this country made in him. In 1997, the outcome, 16-1 in favor of his St. Lucia Labour Party. Now you judge what transpired between his tenure at the helm of 1997 to the year 2006. You pass your own judgment. Now, we 2024, and you can feel it. There's a vacuum. You can feel it that there is definitely need for injection of new blood at different levels, but also there is need for a savior to emerge. Someone who can make the right decisions for the betterment of the entire country. Someone who will try to be as dispassionate as possible when dealing with the myriad of issues in this country. Someone who can inspire the people, because that is what leadership is all about. No one individual can claim to have reaped record success, whether at the level of managing a little bakery or, let's say, a factory or any business establishment on their own. But very often, if that business is successful, they take the credit. Because all the pulling, all the talking which takes place is done by the employees, the workers. But you know, that person at the helm, the managing director, the general manager, they are the one who will inspire you, inspire the workers, give them the confidence, treat them well so that they deliver. And one or two of the employees would say, if it weren't for you, boss, I would not have gone the extra mile. That is the kind of individual we want at the helm of our country right now, in light of all the problems that we're experiencing. Whether you want to believe me or not, leadership is what is required in this country. And this is what is lacking. We are rudderless. And whether the Prime Minister wants to believe it or not, the sky is definitely falling. The sky is falling. And I said this sometime last year, and he disagreed, but the sky is falling.
I heard this short fella. The sky is falling.
Why you think we are in this predicament? First of all, the Prime Minister would like to accuse everyone of politicizing this and politicizing that. But the Prime Minister would seldom address any gathering. Maybe it's a gathering of hacks of the St. Lucia Labour Party, gathering where there's a check presentation, a sword-turning ceremony, without making reference to the opposition. As if that is all that matters to him in this country. As if he's always on the campaign trail. We could have a single homicide. We could have a double homicide. We could have a triple homicide. People can be killed in batches. The Prime Minister takes the opportunity to play politics, to campaign, to play to the gallery. What is required right now is an individual, whether it's male or female, whether it's a youth whether it's a senior citizen, can come to the fore, win or command the confidence of the people and the trust of St. Lucia, and do what is required to, first of all, maintain law and order in the country. When things are going awry in any environment, and someone, supervisor, manager, is the leader, should not be coming to the fore and passing the buck. I don't know. It is the supervisor's responsibility. It is not mine. It is this individual, is another person. The buck stops with the Prime Minister. In the United States, it stops with the President, Joe Biden. In St. Lucia, it is Philip J. Pierre. How can you continue to command in an environment that is so chaotic, where there is social disharmony, social disorder? People don't want to say those things. But a guy is gunned down near the residence of the Governor General of St. Lucia. This incident occurring in the wee hours of Sunday. Now, reports are, and I'm just asking the police to clarify this, you had police officers on duty at the official residence of the Prime Minister. President, sorry. So not president. We haven't reached that stage yet. We're not a republic. The Governor General would have heard the shots, I imagine, in the wee hours of Sunday. My information did not see the need to respond or to investigate. But the body was discovered several hours later. And that is the body of 36-year-old Barry Augustine of Latok, the 10th homicide for this year. Does it get any worse than this? Now you say, well, by happenstance, it just happened there. It happens, it could happen anywhere at all. But this certainly should inspire the people of St. Lucia, galvanize us towards calling on the authorities to tackle this crime problem once and for all and to bring it under some level of control. Because it can be contained. The authorities either do not want, for whatever reason, to take the necessary steps, or they're just incompetent. Two things. Either they do not want to do their job, or you can consider them to be wholly incompetent as far as tackling those issues. Because no one, including the Prime Minister, is coming forward with any suggestions or recommendations. The United States issued travel advisory against the Bahamas. The Prime Minister, the government there responded, and it was a case of the government, not the police, the government will do this, the government will do that, the government will take a certain course of action, the government, that includes the police, it includes the judiciary, it includes the executive, the government. And reference is being made to the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. In the case of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, who is also the National Security Minister, what he does, he passes the buck. Even the very often quiet and subdued, reticent St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association has issued a press statement. And you have to read between the lines because they're making reference to the impact of crime on the health sector and also members in the profession, medical personnel, doctors, etc. making reference as well the trauma it causes. You have to always have to inform a relative that another relative was gunned down and that person succumbed to injuries, etc. It is taking a toll. And I'll go through that press release in just a moment. But also, the judiciary. There's a lack of consistency in the granting of bail. So one guy is arrested for having in his possession an illegal firearm. He's granted bail in the sum of what? $35,000. Another one appears before a magistrate, $8,000. Does that really make sense? Who are the people who are calling the shots in St. Lucia? Therefore, the island needs a savior. Who will save St. Lucia? That is the question we need to answer right now. So somebody sent me, a concerned citizen, sent me a WhatsApp message dealing with the granting of bail for persons who are caught to be in the possession of an illegal firearm and ammunition. It starts with, in the heart of St. Lucia, a stark contrast in bail conditions for firearm possession cases has left the community grappling with the consequences of inconsistent judgments. While some magistrates set bail at a substantial $35,000, others opt for a perplexingly low $8,000, raising concerns about the judiciary's role in a country combating rampant gun violence. The law enforcement officers dedicated to curbing the rising tide of firearms find themselves disheartened as varying bail amounts seem to dilute the severity of the offense. The lack of uniformity in bail decisions raises questions about the effectiveness of the judicial system in addressing the urgent issue of gun-related crimes. Recent incidents have fueled the debate further. A perplexing case unfolded when a magistrate granted an individual caught with a firearm bail as low as $8,000. The previous week witnessed another alarming decision, as an individual with a prior firearm conviction was released on bail after being apprehended with yet another weapon. The repercussions of such decisions became tragically evident when, just days after the low bail case, 3 lives were lost to gun violence, including an incident near the Governor General's residence. The call for consistency in bail decisions echoes through the streets of St. Lucia as citizens grapple with the devastating consequences of these disparate judgments. The urgency for magistrates to align their decisions with the gravity of gun-related offenses intensifies, emphasizing the need for a unified front against the pervasive issue of gun violence. The community implores the magistrates to step up and deliver judgments that reflect the severity of the threat, acknowledging the shared responsibility in ensuring the safety and well-being of all residents on this island nation. Again, as far as this issue is concerned, who will lead? We've been hearing complaint after complaint from citizens, from the police over several years now, but nothing is being done about that problem. Which takes me to the arrest of a cruise ship passenger. This occurred on Sunday. Had in his backpack an unlicensed firearm. A smart police officer decided that the best thing to do is to release this visitor to our shores, confiscate the firearm, and the decision was he had an expired license. When he renews it, he will forward that license, a copy of the license, to St. Lucia, and then the authorities here will return the firearm to him. What do you think would have been the appropriate measure? And as far as the law is concerned, this individual, I'm told, made some inquiries, should have been taken into police custody, should have been charged for being in possession of an illegal firearm, because that is an illegal firearm. Doesn't have a license to prove. In fact, as a foreign national, he did not have an import permit. That was required. You come into St. Lucia with a firearm, whether it is licensed in your jurisdiction or not, you must get permission from the authorities there, the police commissioner, etc., to carry that firearm in St. Lucia. Okay? So, it was an unlicensed firearm. Taken into the possession of the police, you are charged, brought before the courts, speed up the process if you want to. The U.S. Embassy would have to provide that visitor with legal representation. A decision will be taken whether to fine him. A decision will be taken whether to charge, to incarcerate, sentence him, etc. If, for example, the U.S. president were to visit St. Lucia with his entourage, secret police or secret service, they would have to receive from the police commissioner an import permit declaring the number of firearms, number of rounds, and also the caliber of the weapons. If they do not seek the import permit, then what they have in their possession would be illegal firearms and ammunition. So, over to the police commissioner. I heard that the tourism minister said that, well, at least, we have our security system in St. Lucia. And a discovery of a firearm was made in the possession of a visitor to our shores. He would have visited a number of other ports before the discovery was made in St. Lucia. I don't think there's anything to congratulate the police so much for, because the job was not well done. The job was not well done. So we have a serious problem on our hands, serious problems on our hands in this country. To add insult to injury, yesterday afternoon at the Cicero Secondary School, the place where the teachers have been clamoring for improved security, and every time an incident occurs there, Ministry of Education officials would visit the institution, calm the nerves of the teachers and the students and the rest of the staff, and it would be business as usual. Well, cutlass attack. One student attacked another student with a cutlass. My information is, though the student was on the receiving end, his wrist, unfortunately, is almost severed. Don't know what can be done to save his wrist. Another student who intervened, trying to quell the situation, he too was injured in the process. The two students, I believe to be between the age of 15 and 16 years. The district education officer visited the school today, and I'm told it is the same old story. Which begs the question, this security audit at the island schools, which was supposed to be undertaken by former police commissioner Osbert Regis, I think over a 6-month period, which has elapsed, what has happened to this? He would have been paid to conduct this audit. And whether a report has been forwarded to the Ministry of Education, I don't know. But do you really need a security audit to determine that security is lax and is on many occasions just unavailable, non-existent at our learning institutions? Or is it the case of jobs for the boys? Maybe it is a case of the latter. I do not know, but those questions are worth asking. Again, St. Lucia needs a savior. Still to come. Your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, your discussions in the chat room. And a government entity has responded to a lady. Remember, she called the broadcast about a fortnight ago, complaining about some geothermal exercise that was taking place in Soufrière, to her concern, to her disagreement. And the relevant authority, they have provided some answers to her many questions and provided us with a statement, and I'll be going through it in just a moment. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. And early on, Kimani is making reference to yogurt. You say you don't like yogurt, but I think most people I come across in St. Lucia, including yours truly, we love yogurt. So, experience the flavor of Martinique right on your taste buds. French Caribbean Wholesale and Retail Limited is thrilled to bring the exquisite flavors of Martinique close to you with their special opening offer. Buy one yop or yogurt and get one free. Now, I don't know what yop is. What is yop?
I guess it's a brand of yogurt.
You guess?
I think. I don't eat yogurt.
You don't know? Okay. Buy one yop or yogurt and get one free. They are conveniently located in the heart of Masad Industrial Estate. For more information, call 486-5871. That number again is 486.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 and our country, when we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouté at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucilec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Celebrate Independence the KFC way from January 17th to February 29th. Grab the Independence box at KFC. Celebrate 45 years of independence as you indulge in 1 sandwich, 5 dipping wings, 2 pieces of chicken, 2 regular fries, and 2 regular drinks, all for only $45. Unbox and savor the taste of freedom with an Independence Big Box at KFC.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video cast, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, sell the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Get you now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
Let's hear from the Public Relations Officer of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Delphina Werner. Press release issued yesterday, escalating crime levels in St. Lucia pose a threat to public health, according to that organization.
The St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association is deeply concerned about the upsurge in crime that we have been experiencing. Apart from the obvious threat to our citizens and communities, it creates a significant strain on the healthcare system. There are so many aspects of the system that are affected, and it is becoming increasingly difficult for healthcare workers to manage the ripple effects. We are talking about increases in the number of patients presenting to the emergency room, often needing to be attended by multiple persons and requiring emergency surgeries, ICU admission, blood products, prolonged hospital stays during recovery, and the list goes on. Our emergency response and ambulance service is attending to multiple trauma cases daily. All of this diverts precious time and resources from other aspects of healthcare and other persons needing to access these services. It is also taking a serious toll on the mental health of our healthcare workers. As a professional and civil society body, we at SLMDA stand ready to work with the government and other stakeholders to battle this public health threat to our country.
Dr. Delphina Verner, PRO of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association. I'll be going through that press release in its entirety in just a moment. But first, your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call in line. Hello. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Let's try another line. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim. How you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, crime is a very, very concerning issue for all St. Lucians, and I agree with you. But what is lacking is leadership. It appears to me and many St. Lucians, right-thinking St. Lucians, that the country lacks leadership. And when I say leadership, coming from the head, which is the Prime Minister, all we're hearing from Philip JPA is excuses upon excuses upon excuses. The opposition leader, Honorable Alan Chaston, gave Philip JPA a recommendation when he said he needed help. That's Philip JPA. The opposition leader, in his wisdom and being a true patriot of solutions, gave him solutions or recommendations that will assist to curb the crime situation. What did Philip JPA say to him? He said the recommendations was work to be dumped in the trash. This is not how you deal with issues or national issues. When Philip JPA and the Labour Party keep saying that people politicize crime, Heritage, it was a golden opportunity to unite the country, a united front to put a dent into our crime situation. But no, he chose to go the political way. But Tim, according to Loop News, I don't know if you heard breaking news that a prominent Labour Party member and a member of the NTRC was arrested for firearm assault and allegedly having an illegal firearm. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, but we are waiting confirmation from the police. I don't think the individual has been charged, so I don't want to make any kind of pronouncement on this issue.
Yeah, but if you, I know.
I don't want to make any pronouncement on this issue. The individual has not been charged. Okay?
Tim, I take your advice, but I'm just saying, Tim, on the crime situation, this Labour Party government has failed miserably. Nobody is gloating or rejoicing when somebody's killed. That's nothing to rejoice about, but we have to look towards our leaders for leadership. And it's clear in my mind and many right-thinking Nation's mind that this Labour Party government is clueless, and we have a Prime Minister who doesn't exhibit strong leadership. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Kimani, what is in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, just now, no one will be surprised when someone dies or is injured. And someone says, yogurt is not good for human consumption. You like it, right, Tim?
I don't know that it's not good for human consumption. And, people say anything that they want without having any facts, without having the background to speak intelligently on some of those issues.
Another comment, when the U.S. or Canadian government issues a travel warning against a country, it voids your travel insurance. Most people will not go on vacation without travel insurance. The crime situation is very concerning. If there's a travel warning against St. Lucia, our tourism industry will contract. Another comment, why would anyone need a firearm on a cruise ship?
I think we have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air? Okay, we lost that call. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. I think we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. Please go ahead with your contribution, caller. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim, and how are you? Long time.
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm fine, team. I've been trying and trying from the the year you came on and I couldn't get through.
Today's your lucky day.
I'm happy that I got through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, team. I want to ask you, did you see the clip of what's his name? Kenny Anthony addressing people in Viewport on Sunday in that baton relay thing?
Yeah, I would be playing part of that statement that he made, yes, over the weekend.
God,
Mm-hmm.
imagine a man that represented the community for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
That is an address you inciting violence, telling the young people in Viewport, don't let nobody come and bring no hotel on Sandy Beach. So you're against development in Viewport? And then everything about it was angry, and he never addressed what was happening with the crime, with the shooting, to give the youth some hope. Let the youths have some hope as to what will happen in the future, what Labour Party have planned for Viewport. Nothing. Just a whole set of negativity. It's just unbelievable, man. I don't know what is wrong with some of these politicians. That is why, you see that statement he made about there will be no peace? It's just the power of the tongue. When you're there telling the youth, don't let anybody come and build no hotel on Sandy Beach, and it's them that will profit from it. You understand? I mean, what is the meaning of that? Another thing I want to address, Mr. Philip here. I listened to the news. I was at it last night. I know it was on BBS, where he was being interviewed at a cabinet briefing or whatever, and he said, I think Shasney said that he wanted to get together. That's about the second or third time Shasney has been saying he wants to get together with the government to curb crime. And Philip here says straight, he's not working with the government. He's not working with the opposition. And he's talking about opposition dividing. The people telling you they want to work with you, you're refusing, and they're the ones who's dividing. I mean, this is ridiculous. This guy it's just like, I don't know, just a divide and rule mentality they have. And St. Lucian's falling for that. Look at the state we're in. Look at how many murders we have for now. 10?
10 homicides, yeah.
And I heard 2 of them at hospital fighting for their life. 2, I think one got shot in soup, Viewport or wherever. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then for us to have politicians coming out and making these kind of statements to the same troubled youths. A place like Viewport South, where you can see there's problems with the youth. I heard they had given $1 million to Stevenson King and Kay Lash and whoever to fight crime in Viewport. What became of that? I know they had some show and they had artists and things, but what is happening with that? Where that go? What didn't solve anything? These guys just filtering money, team, to whoever they want. Look, this like some kind of act. Some act thing. They see where they're going to get. That will get somewhere. Where will that get? That's just filtering money to Western thing. Where will that get? Why can't the government call back ex police officers like Cyril and all the old police officers and bring a commission and have them train the younger police and have them involved in what's happening? You all train some kind of people and have them in organizations. Every time there is a crime committee. What the crime committee doing? What are they doing? Tim, I will say it again, St. Lucians, we need to wake up and smell the coffee, because we're going down the wrong road. We're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And our Prime Minister, is a shame for St. Lucia to end up with that man will go down in history as the worst Prime Minister St. Lucia ever had, Tim. You have a good afternoon, Tim.
You too, ma'am. In the meantime, the Prime Minister says through the Health and Security Levy, which came into effect as of October of last year, the government has been able to collect some $10.5 million collected from October due to the Health and Security Levy. As a result of that collection, are you feeling safer? Is that translated or manifesting itself in our ability to control the crime problem, the provision of quality health care at our health institutions? We have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, Timothy, I'm calling in connection with that situation over at the Cicero Secondary School yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy, I feel it is time, Timothy. The authorities take that thing very, very, very serious, Timothy. Remember George Charles School had to close down to a similar thing just like that, Timothy, some years ago. But Timothy, what I'm saying, that it is not the first, it is not the second, and I don't think it's going to be the last. And every time something like that happens in that school, you're going to see the teachers going in and seek out for about a half day or a day or two, and then back on the job when you heard the ministries making all kind of promises. Timothy, considering the location where that school is, right? I am not calling the people place a crime zone or whatever it is. Timothy, we need more serious securities at that school. Timothy, you know that incident yesterday happened straight in front of the office? Right in front of the office, Timothy. Imagine a chopping in a secondary school, Timothy. And when they try and apprehend the guy ran and the boy says he's going for his gun, he's coming back. Timothy, when government officials go in and sit by bars and drink, they have police officers as security to guard them. What's about our children and the teachers? So, Timothy, you see why right now there, when children, you give them a work to do, a teacher give them work to do at school, they are not doing it? Because the teachers don't know how their life are with these children, even in the classroom. Timothy, this time I'm calling on these teachers at that Cicero Secondary School that they have my full support to down their tools until something seriously happen at that school. Because that thing cannot be going on. Look, the child left fighting to save his hand. And another one tried to intervene. He got chopped too. Timothy, that thing is serious. That not just boys will be boys and girls will be girls fighting at school, you know. Just some weeks ago, there's a case that close to mine where one said he's going to take his cutlass to chop him. Timothy, it's not the first, it's not the second, it's not the third. I'm calling on this teacher, not even the ministry I'm calling on, because it's just falling on deaf ears. The teachers in that school there and people, even parents, withhold your students from school until something seriously is done. Timothy, we need serious security at that school. Right? We need serious security at that school.
So how often must you say that? How often must we hear from other parents, other sections of the society, for the authorities to act? How often must this be said?
Timothy, you paid a consultant, I don't know how much, but how much money, an ex-commissioner to look into security. That school was one of the main schools. What come out of that? Nothing, Timothy. Sometimes you go there, you at the gate to go to the school where the security is supposed to be in the post. The security is not there at all, Timothy. I mean, it is time something happened at that school. Timothy, that thing is serious, you know, Timothy. With all the crime going on, and Timothy, that's what had led to crime. Because that child that got hurt there yesterday have a father, you have a brother, you have an uncle. So we don't know what that thing could escalate to.
Yeah.
You might just look at it as just a school situation. Timothy, that's a serious situation. And I'm calling on the teachers, the principal of that school, to down their tools. Yes, our children are going to suffer education-wise. But just down their tools until something seriously has happened. When you see them politicians going somewhere, they have how many police guarding them? What's about the poor teachers and the children's lives up there? And one more thing before I leave, Timothy. When businesses have been opening that place, Timothy, especially in the city of Castries, I wonder if planning and this civil doesn't do a thorough thing before they do that. Because, Timothy, I'm talking about the problem with the traffic on Brazil Street, Timothy. Every evening, Timothy, I tell you, a fire, an emergency vehicle, Timothy, actually in a traffic jam for about 15 minutes, Timothy, because what? There's a casino or game place there, and people occupy the left side of that road if you head in Southbourne. Every single night, Timothy, you never pass the situation there?
Yes, I've experienced it.
And nothing is being done about that right in the heart of Castries. So what happened? We have police officers or traffic police just for during the day, 8 to 4. Timothy, that thing is terrible there. On Coral Street, it is the same. Right through what I could understand, Coral Street is a one-way. But that's one of your main streets in Castries, Timothy. Every single God-given evening, Timothy, people have to go through that there. One whole side of the road is just occupied with people that on their leisure time playing their games up there, and the public have to suffer traffic jam from end to end. I mean, come on, Timothy. That thing right in our eye, right in the heart of Castries. Nobody is seen to do something about that. Timothy, have a good day.
You too, sir. If we had a population of 2 million people, size of St. Lucia was what? Let's say 1,000 square miles. Whoever that leader would have been right now would say the population, significant, the size, large country, and we definitely cannot manage it. 238 square miles, 180, let's say, 1,000 people, and our government cannot get anything right in this country. What is happening in the chat room? Kimani.
In the chat room, someone says the government will not take the president of the Medical and Dental Association seriously. They will say she is political. Another comment, St. Lucia sounds like a failed state to me. The citizens can fix this by electing competent persons to lead. Tim doesn't want people to be called liars on his program, so I will say PJP has mastered the art of scratching the truth. Another comment, I had promised not to make any more comments on this show since I do not live here and do not pay taxes. However, this clip where PJP tried to mimic Tim over "The Sky is Falling" made me laugh so much. Tim does not sound like that. As a matter of fact, Tim has a better command of the English than Pierre, a better accent and eloquent than Pierre, and also speaks better than Pierre. Someone has a few questions for you today, Tim. Number one, SLP took $200 million from the Saudi. Had he gotten any funds as yet? Do you know, Tim?
Must have. I don't know.
The second question, has the St. Jude project restarted as yet?
As far as I'm hearing from the Prime Minister, it is ongoing. So they have different phases.
And then the third question, have you received any information on the breakdown of the funds?
No, not yet.
In the chat room, someone says, what savior are you talking about, Tim? We is black people with a black PM. Another comment, I had a boring lunch yesterday without NewsSpin. Someone says, Tim, make sure you feature the news about the former... Oh, wait, you addressed that as well. Someone says, it's our country. We have a right to get mad as hell if our country... It's our country, not SLP. If we act, then the world will help, but we're just sitting and talking. Someone says, while a liar can't be called a liar is a word defining a character's state of mind.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
So I want to bring to your attention and hopefully the Ministry of Communications and Works. For the last couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks going into a month, they have installed speed bumps in Corinth Estate, down by Windward Island access over the bridge. They've installed 4 or 5 of these speed bumps, and to date, they've not returned to paint them. So I hope that somebody from the ministry is listening to this program today. My simple request, the neighborhood's simple request is to paint the speed bumps, because it is going to create a very bad accident in there, and they should know better. And it is time that they stop doing these things where they themselves put people's lives at risk. Thank you very much.
I mean, what does it take to paint a speed bump? Does it take a study? Does it take some kind of research? You require special services from some consultant from the United States or elsewhere to come to St. Lucia? Because some people have been calling me on this particular matter over the last few days. I think we were even discussing it yesterday in our production department. Are you still there, caller?
I'm still here.
So I'm just wondering, what do you require a savior for that too?
No. Maybe there's a Grosley Town Council, and we have accepted nonsense for a little while. So when some culvert falls apart, we don't fix the culvert. We take a pallet, a stick, and we fit it in there, and we leave it for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Because this is what we, as the constituents, deserve. And I'm not saying that all governments will have challenges and ministries will have challenges, but there are some things that have just been not acceptable anymore. They're not. A pallet and a stick in the middle of a thoroughfare is unacceptable. Having speed bumps in a neighborhood like that, in close proximity to each other, not being painted. You find people who are not familiar with the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They drive in, they're not expecting these speed bumps. Then instantly smash on their brake pedal, causing a pileup. Whose fault is it? And until we hold some of these people responsible, it's not going to change. Should we withhold our vehicle registration fees because the government is not holding up to their end of the bargain? Because when I pay my vehicle fees, the expectation is that you will do the right thing with infrastructure. That is what's supposed to be doing. Should we as people take them to task, like the Rodney Bay Homeowners Association that withheld their property taxes because the government was not doing what they were supposed to do? It doesn't need to get to that point. Simple civil servants doing exactly what they're paid to do in a timely fashion.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026. We have another call in line. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Mr. Poleon,
Good afternoon to you, Rick Wayne.
you were missed yesterday.
So I'm told.
Well,
Wait when I'm gone forever, Rick.
nah, that's for me. That's for me. Tim, a little levity. I just kind of threw a little levity at you as we open the show. But, you know, this is about the most inappropriate time for any kind of levity and jokes, because the jokes are nastily in our faces, you know. We have nothing to laugh about, you know, Tim. All right. Your show has been going on now for about roughly half an hour?
Yes, about that. No, over an hour now. Close to an hour.
Over an hour now.
Yeah.
I may have missed something.
Close to an hour.
I move around my house once in a while slowly. Very slowly. So over an hour.
Close to an hour. Close to an hour.
Did you mention the shooting death outside Government House?
Yes, I made reference. Yes, I spoke about it.
Uh-huh. Have you had any comments on it yet?
No.
Well, Tim, for me, for a guy to get shot in the gutter and for his body to lie for how long in the gutter outside Government House is symbolic beyond description. Symbolic.
Yes.
And we hear that the guy
because this is not a alley, this is not some hidden area, some desolate remote area.
You can't compare to nothing.
Yeah.
This is Government House
Mhm.
where you have police guards, right?
Yes.
Good. And from everything I've been hearing, etc., the police guards only discovered the body when they did their normal checkout, you know,
But
later on.
but they
Okay,
heard, but they would have heard the
But they heard-
gunshots.
exactly.
Mhm.
So try to see the symbolism in there. A man is shot of all places outside Government House.
Okay, let's say it happened outside the White House in the United States.
No, let's not go there. That's our White House. That's our White House.
Right.
I want the Government House. You know, Government House. There's been hardly any reference to that symbolism in the media.
Because you ought not to. You're spoiling the brand.
You are back. You're getting very naughty, Tim. You are back after one day, and I imagined throughout the weekend and Monday morning that, boy, I can't wait to hear what people are going to say on Tim's show. Of course, you're disappointed the nation never showed up.
No, I didn't show up. No, hold on, Rick. You're very good at words, so get it right. We had some technical issues. Had nothing to do with me.
Okay, good.
I left here about close to 1:30.
I think your callers and your chat room would say Tim was not on. That's what they would say. They're interested in your problem.
Right.
Find a way to give them their show. So anyway, so we come to today, Tim. You actually read, not with great emotion. That's very typical of you, very controlled. I'm giving you credit all the way there. Very controlled. I could say you're used to those reports, but very controlled, very professional. You didn't excite anybody on it. But Tim, we are talking about bumps in the road. That's important. We are talking about children in distress. That's important. But 10 homicides in less than 2 months. It's just about 5 weeks.
Yeah.
10 homicides. And I don't want to forget how many last year? How many?
75.
75. We closed the year with 75. And we opened the year, and within the first month, we have 10. How can you dislocate the 10 from the 75? It's merely continuing.
Yeah.
What have we heard about arrests and so on? Nothing. And the people, I heard Kamani read a note there to you. Very soon we won't be talking. But I talked about that. We get in St. Lucia, what we do is get immune and inured to the most horrors as we go along. You know. That's what we do. That's our culture, the culture. Okay? So we have this government house killing outside government, shooting outside government house. Now we have, I didn't quite get you either. The information you gave about somebody off the cruise ship with an unlicensed firearm, you want to tell me quickly what that was?
Well, the police caught somebody, a cruise ship passenger, with unlicensed firearm with in a backpack. That is on Sunday. And what the police decided to do is to release that individual. Person went back to the cruise ship. They kept the firearm because what was produced to law enforcement in St. Lucia was an receipt of an expired license.
Now you asked, and I noticed you've been ignored so far. You gave your view, what you thought should have been done, and you asked comment.
Not even what I thought should have been done, but what should have been done as far as the law is concerned.
Okay, all right, good. But Tim, I'm assuming the same principle applies when a guy has been found with an expired license driving a vehicle.
Yeah.
They give you a few days, to fix that,
If they are kind, yeah. But
they don't arrest you normally. They don't arrest you or anything like that, or take your car. You are entitled to a few days, whether a week or the policeman will tell you, make sure you fix it. That's what most police officers, traffic officers would do that because they can't take your car. They have no legal authority to do that.
I don't know if they do not have legal authority, but a lot of cars in the last few weeks have been, police have taken those vehicles into their possession. If they are not licensed, if you have not paid your registration for the vehicle, if you do not have insurance, they have done it as well.
I don't know about that, but I know about the driver's license.
The driver's license, okay, yes.
Yeah, expired license. They give you things. So what we have here is a firearm expired license.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to find out from that.
But it is an illegal firearm then. Therefore, it is an illegal firearm.
He's carrying I'm not even sure that it's unlicensed.
No, I spoke with somebody in law enforcement. It is considered to be an illegal firearm.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to argue with you on that because I'm not positive. But don't get carried away with your lawyer, policeman, or whatever. Don't get too carried away with that.
I'm not getting carried away. I did the research on it. I'm just saying it is illegal. The police did not act. The police did not act according to the law. That's basically it.
So it says
you need an import permit to have this firearm in St. Lucia. If you need to take the firearm overseas, you need an export permit as well.
Anyway, I don't want to take up much time anyway. It's worth talking about. But Tim, you got that information officially? Everything about the guy who had the gun and everything else. You got that officially?
About the guy having the gun or the outcome? My comments on the outcome, my assessment.
The beginning to end.
I got it, yes, officially.
You got all of it officially.
Let's put this, I got a source. So I can't reveal my source.
It's important why I'm asking you that.
Yeah.
It's not putting you on the spot. It's important. You got a source, but was that source an official source?
I don't have to reveal that, Rick. But let's continue.
Fair enough. Okay. The reason I ask you that is because somebody wanted to, you refuse to acknowledge the question of a local person or story regarding a local individual who got in some license.
Because
and what you said was, I don't want to talk about it at all because he hasn't been charged.
He has not been charged, no.
But of course, you could have. Did you know of that?
I knew about it this morning. Yes.
From an official source?
I got it from a source.
Is it official again?
I got it from a source, Rick. I don't reveal anything about official or unofficial. You'll call Rick and ask him to reveal whether it's official or unofficial.
No, but I wouldn't tell. I wouldn't be naming names, so I probably would say the only people I would trust are officials. So I would not name the name, but I would say.
Let's put it this way: impeccable sources.
Reliable.
Impeccable sources.
Impeccable sources. So Tim, I would have liked, because it's you I trust, I would have liked for you to have said at least, I'm not going to discuss this. An individual was in fact arrested. An individual is in police custody, but I'm not going to discuss this until I've gotten further information. Because right now you leave your audience speculating, is that a fabrication in the first place? Yes, man. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
But Tim, you know, you started your show with 1997, right?
Mm-hmm. On Kenny Anthony.
And the situation of crime and Kenny Anthony. And people think every time I mention Kenny Anthony, I am necessarily criticizing Kenny Anthony. Kenny Anthony is a good place to start because that was going to be the change, you know, Tim. That's why 16-1 happened, an ocean of red. That was going to be St. Lucia's first step into the useful, progressive future, no?
Yes, that would have been a turning
Very
point.
important time.
A turning point. A turning point for us.
Turning point. That's correct, because we were a mess. And a lot of things happened. Julian Hunt fell by the wayside. A number of people fell by the wayside. The Labour Party had to even rename itself. What they call themselves? I forget. They didn't change the name of the party.
New Labour?
New Labour.
Mm-hmm.
New Labour. Everything we needed, we were looking forward to this. And among the things Kenny promised, with good reason, from his platform, among them were an inquiry into corruption, because we wanted transparency and accountability. And that was what resulted in the Bloom-Cooper report a few months after taking office. That was a major plank of the platform. Another one was that the police, and that's the more important point for me, the police was such a mess that Kenny Anthony promised to recruit some high-ranking officers, about 50, from outside the region, because he had problems with family people. There's too much closeness between criminals and police, all kinds of stuff. But he saw the need, and that was the need that occurred to him. Things were so bad. He promised, election promise, that he would recruit some 50 police outside of St. Lucia. You know that never went anywhere, Tim?
Yeah.
And you know why, Tim? Because one particular radio guy put a lot of blows on him that we can handle our own affairs, and he backed off on that. And he also, in that election too, he also promised, and I always praise him for that, what is now called Bordelais. Of course, that Bordelais is now a mess in itself, but that's not the point. I will forever praise Kenny Anthony for taking the prison away from Bridge Street and giving what was supposed essentially to be a rehabilitation center. Remember?
Yeah.
He didn't even want to call it a prison. That's how progressive we were.
You remember George Mallet saying, as we speak, plans are being made to construct a new prison in St. Lucia, which never materialized.
Of course.
Mm.
And Kenny delivered. Give him
Yeah.
credit on that. I always tease Kenny that one of the greatest things the Labour Party did, he was unable to really get credit for it because it was not well received, you know. Generally, Kenny went against the grain and built that facility, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as people were concerned, and to a large extent we still are like that, people who were arrested, yeah, they call it a five-star hotel.
Yeah,
Don't treat those guys. They kill them, put them in acid. That was our thinking, and I'm not so sure it's... I'm giving you all this to see where we are. But that didn't do much for the crime because Kenny Anthony said so in a speech last year. Now, I'm going to jump all the way now to Alan Shastney. Alan Shastney is often cited for having said, Kenny didn't do it, but I will, etc., etc. I take all those into account, Tim, and I arrive where we are now. That crime, respect for life, is at its worst. You agree?
Yes.
So that whatever the guys did between 97 and now, as Kenny's notes in a speech delivered last year, amounted to zero. So, Tim, isn't it obvious that something is wrong in how the thing was pursued, and we can tell what it is. They all did the same thing. You know that those meetings overseas, Tim, where the heads of government get together. When I first came to this country, that's one of the things I noticed. And I wrote an article saying, one head rules the Caribbean. All those heads of government meetings, all those meetings, these guys go there to come up with some kind of consensus on crime and all that kind of stuff. Of course, 2 weeks later, we had a change together. Typically, the last one was the photo up in Trinidad, which everybody spat on, and nothing has come out of that. They do that. So one head rules the Caribbean. Now we have heard in Trinidad that the guy is going to flood the streets with so many police. They think it's an army. Jamaica is in its own problems. It's received America has issued a thing against them, a travel, whatever you call it, advisory against it. And we are on the verge. So what has happened between 1997 and now in terms of the amelioration of crime?
Nothing different, nothing serious.
In fact, we're now killing them on government, on the steps of Government House. That's how we have gotten worse. So, Tim, isn't it obvious that everything the guys have done, everything, has been useless, a waste of money, Tim? But the people, we the people are not discussing that. We keep on discussing what did Kenny do, what did Allen do. What they did was useless. And we must be able to say that while still being loyal to the party we support. That what our governments have done so far regarding the protection, crime, and so on of people has been nothing, amounted to nothing. And we have not yet talked about those people whose murders remain unresolved, undiscussed. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So we don't even talk about that. We have failed, Kenny Anthony said last year when he was promoting the CCJ, we have failed the people when it comes to justice. Which brings me to the point, Tim, that the DPP last week acknowledged to reporters that the justice system is broken. He said you all the things that they need. We've heard it all before. 3 years ago, he promised to do certain things about the impacts report. He repeated that again a few days ago, Tim. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And we, the people, just sit there and take it while we die. We die. Every time you kill one person, you have essentially killed God knows how many more relatives with grief, with possibilities, with the future. Their children grew up without them. The poor mothers on always acknowledging, he was not a good boy. Who the hell is a good boy? I don't know any good boys. And what the hell is he used to lose his temper. These poor people rendering themselves when the only thing they need to do is for the government, and that business about gang and whatever thing. I'm not saying they're gang members or not gang members. I just know they're the victims of homicide. I just know we have a deluge of guns coming in here, etc., etc. What court has proved that we have gangs in St. Lucia?
Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence? That's a nice thing to say. It's a nice thing to say.
And if we have the gangs in St. Lucia, can those gangs not be infiltrated? What can be done? Because you have that.
We don't know gangs, but it's a nice excuse.
Yeah, you have that information at your disposal. How are you utilizing it?
But here's the main gang. The main gang, according to a Prime Minister of St. Lucia who conducted an investigation, we have gangs linked to gang members in our government.
Yeah.
Question marks over our judiciary, the closeness of our judiciary to politicians. I want to repeat, a judge recused himself from a case involving politicians a few weeks ago on the basis that there was political interference, which he detailed, and rather than the the Chief Justice's office putting public minds to rest so that there is not the wrong, destructive speculation, she sent the guy off to Grenada. And I am saying, me looking on cannot connect it as a matter of fact. But I'm a thinker. I can speculate reasonably. And if I should speculate that guy was sent away to squash all that whole matter of political interference, it's a reasonable speculation, Tim.
The problem does not go away because you transferred him to
Yeah, but
Grenada.
I am not saying as a fact you transferred him because I am saying I am free because I have a lot of good reason to speculate it had something to do with shutting people up.
Agreed.
That particular Chief Justice, and again, somebody has to say those things, and I'm saying them very carefully. I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm talking about optics and what the effect optics have on the people generally and the confidence in our system. That Chief Justice at her retirement time was extended by the 4 prime ministers of the region. Do you remember we had an inquiry here? The Bloom-Cooper, I think I know I'm holding you up. The Bloom-Cooper report came, but at least I'm telling you stuff that's new. Okay? The Bloom-Cooper report, there was a woman called Monica Joseph who had been chosen to head that inquiry. Remember that?
I remember, yes.
In 1998. And John Compton protested.
She was either from St. Vincent or Grenada. I think it's Grenada. One of those islands.
Okay. And John Compton protested. He said that he was one of the prime ministers who did not vote to extend her contract or give her a new contract, whatever it is. And he believes she will be unfair. And you know that is how Bloom-Cooper got to replace Monica Joseph.
Yeah.
Now we have a Chief Justice whose time had passed. The prime ministers of the day, including our own, extended her contract for their own reasons. And now she is presiding over a suspicious situation and has taken an action that leaves room for speculation and has not settled that speculation at all. So why shouldn't I think there is a connection? Why shouldn't I? I'm not saying I do. Why shouldn't I speculate that there is a connection between contracts, possible contract extension, getting rid of the judge, etc., especially considering the people involved in the case? Alan Chasney, Claudius Francis, Mr. Speaker, the AG in his personal capacity, and all. Those are the people involved in the litigation. You see what I'm saying, Tim? So we have so many and finally, Tim, when we decide that the most important thing in St. Lucia is life, the most important thing in St. Lucia is stability, law and order, that every other thing a government can come up with, whether it's investments, whether it's attracting whatever, has to come second to our safety, our stability, the image of the country as a safe place to invest in, and so on and so on and so on. So are St. Lucians prepared for any government to say we're going to make the justice system, our police, our number 1 and number 2 priority by investing more money than they have ever into the police, into the justice system, including the police, recruiting another 200-300. Yeah, that's how bad it is because we need to flood our streets and clean them up. Is there a politician with the balls to say that? And do we, the people, have the courage to face that fact that until we take that the whole matter seriously enough to invest money on that instead of $400 million in a hospital over 14 years, and we still have no conclusive word as to when we're going to see it? Food for thought.
Thank you so much,
very
Rick. Some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages still to come. Alternative Security Services is offering a Get Hired on the Spot job fair, which will be held on the 8th and 9th of this month from 9 to 3 p.m. at the Castries Town Hall. Applicants are hereby asked to walk with a valid ID. Must be between the ages of 20 and 50, sound mind and body, and must be able to read and write. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin.
Legacy.
This one will be epic. It is Legacy 45, Independence Edition, Saturday, February 10th, 2024. A night of Calypso icon from St. Vincent with superb vocals and repertoire. Beckett.
From the time I leave the barber, girl, I rush me.
Yes, Beckett.
Reggae teaser, teaser.
From Barbados, the legend himself, Mighty Gabby. Gabby. And the electrifying, dynamic Ras Island.
Spring garden are coming.
Ras Island!
Let's come now, we jam for proposal.
And repping our St. Lucian flag, the Maestro Papa Veda.
From baby soca with
The groovy master King Alpha. The reigning monarch T-Black.
Guns don't kill people.
And Mr. Desra, plus lots more. It's gonna be a blast. Legacy 45, Saturday, February 10th at the newly fully air-conditioned at the Pavilion at Rodney Bay, 8 p.m. Early bird ticket $70 till January 30th. Regular $85. Pay more at the door. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Legacy sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, First Citizen, and the Independence Committee.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Coming soon, the same excellent Lucelec service in a new location at Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci, Castries. Thanks for your patience.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More pan, more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More pan, more sell the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
An exquisite 3-bedroom modern villa, panoramic ocean views, well-equipped modern appliances, a plunge pool. Bon Esprit Villa. For that quiet getaway in a lush green space. Your home away from home. Understated decadence, tranquility, and harmony. For special occasions and weekend getaways, the perfect escape. Bon Esprit Villa. Book now. Call 486-7965.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Gouvernement Saint-Lucie qui travaille avec ministre pour santé bien important, avec affaires grand monde et qu'a offert plus pour femmes qui enceintes en Saint-Lucie. En bas plan Universal Health Coverage avec service pour maman et riche, provision déjà faite pour femmes enceintes joindre service laboratoire et sondage sans payer des sous. Yo kay joindre aussi vaccine, conseil pour bâtir famille, information à sous nourriture et conseil pour santé sévère. Nous là pour supporter vous. Venez et prendre l'avantage de service salaire tous les semaines sans payer des sous. Commencez le 1er juin 2023. Service laboratoire et sondage pour un lien qui aide à mettre femmes enceintes en plus bonne santé et fait plus sauve pour maman et riche. Visitez Health Center qui plus pour là et enregistrez pour Universal.
Your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and of course your discussions in the chat room. Kimani, what is happening there?
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, after Rick takes so much of our time, you're taking more with the ads. Wow.
We'll give it a few minutes.
All right. Someone says, but not today, Mr. Chastain has been telling St. Lucians the justice system is broken. Someone says, simplify it for Rick. You are a driver with a valid St. Lucian driver's license. Can you legally drive a vehicle in another jurisdiction? The answer is a definitive no.
It can happen in some jurisdictions. In the OECS, it can happen. Because the free movement of people, we have an economic union in place, can happen. So you could, with a valid driver's license in St. Lucia, you could drive in Dominica as well, and St. Vincent and those islands.
Another comment in the chat room, they should privatize the prison. Maybe that might help. Someone says carrying a firearm on a cruise is not allowed. The prohibition is a safety measure. Taking a gun on a cruise may violate maritime law as well as the laws in the ports you visit. In most cases, carrying a gun on a cruise ship is not allowed. Another comment in the chat room, St. Lucia needs to be able to fire ministers by recalling them early and not waiting for 5 years. The Minister of National Security is a perfect example. That individual is a complete failure, yet he continues to enjoy our tax money. What are we doing, St. Lucia?
We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you.
Tim, regarding, I heard you say that the Minister of Tourism, Healy, like he gave credit to the security services or the police for detecting or catching this cruise ship passenger with the firearm.
Yeah.
And I think you said that the ship may have stopped in other territories and maybe
it was not detected. Yeah, it was not detected in those territories. But so we ought to take credit for this.
But what he failed to say, it is quite possible that the passenger may have left his or her firearm on the cruise ship and felt that there was no need to take them to bring it out in St. Vincent, Grenada, or wherever the cruise ship stopped.
Could be a possibility.
And it may be because of the reputation that they know that St. Lucia has with firearms and with crime. That is why the passenger felt compelled to leave the cruise ship with the firearm. That's my contribution.
Could be a reason. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I think we have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Now, let me tell you, just talk about St. Vincent. You could drive before a driver's license there. You can drive, but you're going to get a permit. First. Okay? That's in St. Vincent, I know, I know for the other place. Okay? All right. Now, I coming down on the pardon they killed by government how. Now, that's just to show you the system. These things happening. You see a chief of police come out and say something, you know, another one die marchand. You see a chief of police or inspector, some hierarchy come and say something. Just a little news, and that's it. All right? That's why I'm telling you. They're only checking for the rich and not for the poor. There's only security for the rich, and there is no security for the poor. So the crime will always happen because the fellas lawless, they don't care if nothing. And that's what happened in the country. A man do you, do them back. Because there's only security for the rich, no security for the poor. That's my presentation for this afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing it with us at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. So as we said earlier, the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, in light of the worsening crime situation in St. Lucia, issued a press statement. Headline, escalating crime levels in St. Lucia pose a threat to public health. It reads, our simply beautiful island nation of St. Lucia is facing a concerning surge in crime, a trend that not only threatens the safety of our citizens but also places an unprecedented strain on our national or nation's medical sector. Recent statistics reveal a worrisome uptick in criminal activities with 10 homicides already in 2024, prompting us at the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association to address the multifaceted implications on public health. Continues. The impact of the escalating crime levels extends beyond immediate safety concerns. Emergency rooms and healthcare facilities are grappling with an influx of trauma cases of varying severity resulting from violent incidents, putting an additional burden on an already stretched healthcare system. The ripple effects are many and include increasing patient volume, increased demand on blood bank resources, increased emergency surgical procedures, and need for ICU beds, extended wait times for other patients seeking emergency services, significant strain on hospital infrastructure, physical and human resources, increased demand on EMT and ambulance services. Healthcare facilities are forced to allocate more resources to handle trauma cases, including increased staffing in emergency departments and additional medical supplies. This redirection of resources comes at a time when the world is grappling with ongoing public health challenges, making it crucial to address the root causes of the rise in crime to alleviate the strain on the medical sector. There is also a significant mental health impact. The fear of crime and the experience of victimization can contribute to mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Communities with high crime rates may experience heightened levels of stress and reduced overall mental well-being. The constant exposure of healthcare workers to these traumatic cases, breaking news to families, and even threats in some cases does not bode well for the mental health of our healthcare workers. Chronic stress has been linked to the development of chronic non-communicable diseases such as cardiovascular disease, hypertension, cancer, and immune system suppression. This demonstrates that the constant threat of crime poses a threat to overall physical health, which is a problem we are already battling. The allocation of public health resources may shift to address the immediate consequences of crime, diverting attention and funds away from preventive measures, community health initiatives, and addressing underlying social determinants of health. Crime can lead to economic instability within communities, affecting employment opportunities and economic development. Economic hardships, in turn, can contribute to health disparities and exacerbate existing health issues. The SLMDA urges the government of St. Lucia and all stakeholders to unite and seek to implement a holistic approach to address the issue of crime, combining law enforcement efforts with community outreach programs and social initiatives. We stand ready as a professional body and civil society group to assist in these efforts. In the face of these challenges, the people of St. Lucia remain resilient, and it is essential that we come together to safeguard the well-being of our communities. As a nation, we need to commit to implementing comprehensive strategies that address the immediate safety concerns while fostering a sustainable, secure environment for all residents. addressing the root causes of crime, implementing effective crime prevention strategies, and fostering community resilience are crucial components of promoting public health and creating safer, healthier societies. And that is coming from the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, signed by Dr. Delphina Werner, Public Relations Officer. Press release issued yesterday. Any comments from the chat room, Kimani? We continue with your calls once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026.
In the chat room, someone says, it seems the school is following in the steps of some shooters in some schools in Guyana. This has to be nipped in the bud immediately. Someone says, I wish we had the power to fire a government without having to wait 5 years. That's like needing to fire your employee, but they get to set the date of their termination, and you are forced to wait 5 years. Meanwhile, they are a failed employee who are doing more damage to your business. Someone says, Tim, the speed bumps can't be painted due to the effect of climate change. Another comment, St. Lucia needs an intervention. Someone is asking, what about the strike bus drivers from the Soufrière Fonsejac conducted yesterday? Is it over? Another comment, someone is asking, where is the teachers' union? In Jamaica, they're putting them in prison, no time to waste on juvenile prison, straight to the big man prison.
So in light of that press release from the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, very soon we might hear from the National Youth Council. We might also hear from the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce and a number of other institutions on the island. But I find it very, very strange. We have not heard from the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce on the crime problem because they are being impacted directly. They have to provide security to the various establishments, not the chamber, but the various members of the chamber would have to add this to the cost of the services that would be required to ensure the safety of customers and also their own members. What about a press release from the St. Lucia Bar Association concerning the crime problem? The lawyers might not say anything because they are somewhat benefiting indirectly. Because every time somebody is arrested, hauled before the courts for gun crimes, etc., a lawyer has to be hired. He or she gets paid. Why issue a press release against this? Kimani, what's happening in the chat room? Any more comments? Remember, we take a few more calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026.
Someone says the unions, St. Lucia National Trust, civil society organizations, etc. will all find their voices when UWP is back in power.
Yeah, for sure. What about the Civil Service Association? Nothing at all. I mean, trade union members are being impacted seriously by the crime problem in our country. Somebody says that could the cruise ship passenger with the unlicensed firearm have been part of a broader sting operation? I'll have a press release to read in just a moment, but first, remember this lady who called from Soufrière, community over in Soufrière, a few days ago, complaining about a geothermal project that was taking place in the community, and she had her concerns. So I'll play her statement, and then we'll have a press release which corrects some of the, or addresses some of the issues that she highlighted.
The government is embarking on a project called geothermal energy. Now, they want to drill.
Which community,
the community
please?
I'm talking about is community of Myers-Bridge, that's Belleplaine, Myers-Bridge, and Font-Saint-Jacques.
Okay.
Now they want to drill. They want to drill to see if they can get a branch of the volcano so they can create electricity. Now, Tim, the people in the area, they are unhappy with what the government is trying to do because they don't know what's going to happen to their lives, what's going to happen to their health, and what's going to happen if they have to place them somewhere else. But I'm more concerned about Belleplaine, which is in Myers-Bridge. Where the people want to drill, Tim, there is a natural spring water in that area. And that spring water has served the whole community of Belfort, Myers-Bridge, Victoria. In those days when we did not have pipe water. So we are calling on the government, please reconsider. Because, Tim, when the people drill that spring, the chemical they're using to drill, that is going to poison the water, Tim. And we are very concerned about this. You understand? I remember they don't want people to cut trees because they're saying that if they cut the trees, it's going to affect the spring. But now they are coming to drill where the spring is. And whatever they're going to do is going to poison the water, Tim. You understand? And the people in the area, they are very concerned and they are asking the government to stop it. We are not happy with what they're going to do there, Tim. I remember many years ago, Tim, they did the same thing in Etangs. They drill Etangs, they drill Belfort, and they also drill in the Silver Spring. They could not get anything. I don't know, apparently there was some gas in the Silver, whatever, so they had to abandon the project. Tim, the people went and the people buried all the chemicals in that ground. And you know now all these lands are wasteland, Tim. Wasteland, people cannot use it. They cannot plant anything on that land. And now they want to come and do the same thing in Belle Plaine, close to a spring water. And we are not happy about that. And that's why I am talking. Because we want the government to reconsider and to stop it. What I'm saying is, where are the people who care about the environment? And the worst thing is, Tim, the people have not even come to people's homes to see how this is going to affect the people. Last Wednesday, they had a meeting at Myers Bridge, at a town hall, at a dance hall. Tim, it was raining so much. People could not come out to that meeting, Tim. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now, and it was only 6 or 8 people that were at the meeting. Now, the people who are at the meeting are not the people who are living in the area. So we are very concerned, especially with that spring water, that natural spring water we have there. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow if we don't have to go back to that spring. And when they come and poison the water, all of us are going to be in trouble. Thank you, Tim. I just want the government to know that we are unhappy and we want them to stop what they are doing.
So in light of the concerns expressed by that caller to the broadcast, the Ministry, the Department of Infrastructure, Ports and Transport issued a press release dated February the 5th of 2024. And I'll read it in its entirety. During the NewsSpin show on Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, a caller or callers expressed concerns about the renewable energy sector development projects, RESDP plans, to drill an exploratory well at Belle Plaine in Soufrière. We wish to advise the public that we take all concerns and issues concerning this World Bank finance project very seriously. As such, the grievances aired on last week's program were entered into our grievance redress mechanism to be addressed and actioned. In response to the grievances that were aired, the RASDP would like to make the following statement. The project complies with the World Bank's social and environmental safeguards. Safeguards are precautionary measures to protect against possible danger to people or damage to the environment and to ensure that no one or the environment is left in a worse state than it was before the project. The project must collect information throughout its life to show compliance with all applicable environmental and social regulations for the World Bank and the government of St. Lucia. Use of chemicals near the drilling site. Mud and air will be used during drilling. The mud composition will be closely controlled to ensure no toxic materials are used. In addition, the water storage area for the spring at Belle Plaine will be improved for ease of access to the community. The drilling mud will be contained at the drilling site and no spillage into the environment will be permitted. The site will be surrounded by a containment space that will capture any liquid spills. The well will be drilled to a depth of about 2,000 meters. The section of the well near the surface for the first 200 meters will be sealed in concrete. For the remaining depth, steel pipes will be used. The surface water will not come into contact with fluids from the well. Vibration from drilling activities. Vibrations will be closely monitored using a seismic monitoring system. The condition of properties around the drilling site before drilling will be evaluated and recorded. Any impacts to the community from vibrations while drilling will be immediately investigated and measures taken to reduce negative impacts. These measures will be defined in the environmental and social management plan contained in the civil works and drilling contracts for the project. Fumes in the atmosphere. During well testing, which is expected to last about 5 days, steam and gases will be or may be discharged from the well. The composition of gases will be monitored and corrective measures taken if levels of any toxic gases exceed environmental standards. If it is necessary to remove anyone during well testing, the Project Implementation Unit PIU of the RESDP will negotiate with residents and move them to a more comfortable living space. Burial of hazardous waste during the last drilling campaign. No hazardous materials were buried during the last drilling campaign. The project followed strict environmental guidelines for the handling of both solids and liquids extracted during drilling. The solid materials extracted during drilling were tested and found to be non-toxic and safe for surface disposal. In other parts of the world, solids from drilling are used as construction materials. The public is encouraged to use the project's grievance redress mechanism to communicate directly with project staff to address any concerns about the project. To receive a grievance, individuals can send a WhatsApp message to 732-0030. That's 732-0030. Email to grievances.resdp@govt.lc or message to Facebook via www.facebook.com/RESDP St. Lucia. Suggestion boxes for logging a grievance are available at the following locations: Fort Saint-Jacques Community Technology Access Center, also Region 6 Agricultural Extension in Myers Bridge, Saltibus Post Office, and Peter Management Area Office. Grievances can also be reported to the project office within the Energy and Public Utilities Division or through the World Bank website. All grievances will be treated confidentially. In addition, the project has a stakeholder engagement plan, which includes regular consultations with the affected communities every 6 months. Consultations were held in June of last year in all 3 communities, and a recent round was completed in January 2024. PIU publishes quarterly newsletters, which the public can receive via WhatsApp, the project's Facebook page, or Instagram. Simply search for RESDP. In order to provide residents of Belle Plaine/Myers Bridge with a project update, discuss project activities for the next 6 months, and answer questions, the PIU invites residents of the above areas to a meeting at the Country Lime on Wednesday, February the 7th, 2024. The meeting begins at 6 o'clock in the evening. Press release from the Department of Infrastructure, Ports, and Transport. Comments in the chat room. Kimani.
In the chat room, someone says, Tim, these are just words, and not because it's a foreign company that we should not be concerned. Even the big companies make mistakes. The real disaster that poisoned water should be an example. We like to cover to foreign entities like they can do no harm. Another comment, it's time that St. Lucia looks at the water distribution issue seriously, just as traffic congestion should be looked at. The St. Lucia of 30 years ago isn't the St. Lucia of today. Deforestation is serious, road networks are serious as well. Tim, you will not hear from the Chamber of Commerce. All civil society institutions are silent when SLP is in power. Tim, we need the SLMDA's statement on the old versus new St. Jude's. Someone says, you are all the same ones who were fighting to prevent teachers from disciplining students. Today you all are crying. And another comment, parents will soon be skeptical about sending their children to these schools where violence is taking place. This is so scary. That's it.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from former Prime Minister Dr. Kenny and Anthony, and MP for VA4 South, addressing a recent event in that constituency over the weekend.
If we do not keep VA4 South beautiful, and keeping VA4 South beautiful means that we have to keep it clean, we have to keep it tidy, we have to handle how we manage the garbage that we produce. These are little steps, but important steps that matter. In other words, if we love VA4 South, we have to look after the environment that we have. And this means making sure by our habits we protect VA4 South, but also when other persons are doing harm to VA4 South, we say to them, no, that's not how we do it. We don't want it that way. We need to keep VA4 South a special way because we need to demonstrate our love for VA4 South. And there are things in VA4 South that must remain precious to us. Every day, whenever I'm in VA4, I go past Sandy Beach. I don't know what the future will bring. And I worry about the future constantly. But there's something we have to leave in your trust. You must look after it and manage it. That Sandy Beach, you must never ever allow any hotel to be constructed on that beach. That beach must be held in trust for you. For the children of VA4 South and for the people of St. Lucia. St. Lucians must never ever feel that their country does not belong to them. And so, you see that Sandy Beach, long after I am gone, ensure that it is protected and in trust. That is what I mean when I say that you must be known by your actions and your deeds, not by your pronouncements, not by your statements. Actions speak louder than words. And this year, I want you to join me in supporting something I've been fighting against for a long time. You know, we are a little strange sometimes in VA4 South. That there are things we regard as ours, and there are things that we don't. Tell the people of St. Lucia that Huon-Ora Airport belongs to the people of VA4 South. It's in our constituency. And that we are looking after it, holding in trust for the people of St. Lucia. This means that we do have to take care of it. For years, I have been telling two of the government agencies that operate in VA4 South, in West St. Lucia, and the Air and Seaports Authority, that they cannot allow the entrance to that airport to be in the mess that it is. And the time has come to stop the mining of the hill overlooking the airport. I have been quarreling against that for the last few years because we are entitled to make sure that our community looks beautiful and we care for it. If we do not love our community and look after VA4 South, we will not be able to love our country as we profess that we do.
MP for V4 South, Dr. Kenny Anthony. We also have a clip to play for you featuring the leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Chastney, extracted from his New Year's address to the nation, which was aired on Sunday evening, speaking on crime.
United Workers' Party strongly reiterates its unwavering commitment to working with the government to combat crime. We understand the devastating impact that crime has on people, communities, and the economy. Therefore, we urge all St. Lucians to unite and stand together as one people in the fight against crime and violence in our country. It is difficult to witness the destruction of the gains we had made in laying a solid foundation to rebuild our country and the loss of a clear direction. And even harder to believe this is all for petty politics. As citizens, we all have the power to shape the progress of our nation. It's up to each one of us, acting together, decide how we want this country governed. We can no longer afford to stand idly by and do nothing. I'm reminded of a quote attributed to one of the greatest freedom fighters, Dr. Martin Luther King. And I quote, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter," end of quote. I therefore call on all good men and women of this country to act now to safeguard our democracy and freedom, as the future of the next generation is at risk. We must all participate to protect our country. If not, all will be lost.
Extracted from his New Year's address to the nation, the leader of the parliamentary opposition and MP for Miku South, Alan Chastney. Our NewsSpin news of the day. NewsSpin news of the day. Hamas makes bomb from medical supplies. Hamas makes bomb from medical supplies. And we also have our question of the day. More homicides, still unconvinced that the sky is falling? More homicides, still unconvinced that the sky is falling. Our NewsSpin question of the day. And just a little bit to share with you, a little story with lots of meaning. A little story with lots of meaning. When you throw babies in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That is trust. When you throw babies in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That is trust. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for trusting this broadcast, which is the most monitored talk show in the world. Never doubt that. You've been listening to NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. And don't forget, St. Lucia needs a savior. Goodbye.